United States of America, with all the blacks, we say no to racism. We say no to killings of the blacks in America. We say no to what is happening in the United States of America. We're here today to tell the President of the United States of America, through the ambassador to the United States of America, that enough is enough. We cannot take it anymore. That if gay is not taken, we in Nigerians, we're going to retaliate. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
America should not take us for granted. They should not think that they are the world power. They'll be molesting Nigerians. They'll be treating Nigerians as if they are not humans.
Said there's a place called South Boston. No black person. In any case, I want to correct a notion. There is nobody that is black, and there is no one that is white. We have pink people and rednecks. That's what they are called in America. And then we are brown, beautiful, and bold people. Nobody, that is the color black, and this is the color white. Nobody is white. Let us correct that notion today. And he said to me, Mr. Harris, he said, you will not go to South Boston. I said, why? I'm coming from Africa, I'm coming from Nigeria. We're very fragile. He said, well, if you go to South Boston, you go there at your own risk. And I said, why? He said, because that is the citadel of KKK. KKK means the Ku Klux Klan. And it was a habitation for everything that is so-called black to be eliminated. Another personal experience. In 1980, 81 or thereabout, there was an Ugandan student. In America, I don't know if it's still like that, the higher you go in your apartment, the higher you pay. And so there was this Ugandan student who was on scholarship of his country to pay hard-earned dollars to the American institution. But on the opposite side was a white or a redneck boy. He's not white, redneck or pink man. And one day, he picked up his gun and he shot that boy dead. And we all trooped out like this as we are here. And we ended up in the court in Boston, Massachusetts. These are on record. Why did you kill him? He said because he did not go up that far to pay his rent, to look into a black face. Again, in quote, that black man also did not pay that kind of money to look into your pink or redneck face. And that case died. Again, in 1981, March 30th precisely, March 30th in 1981, John Hinckley Jr. traveled all the way from Texas to Washington, D.C., the seat of power. And because he wanted to, with the hope of impressing Jodie Foster, an American actress that he wanted to lay. And the lady says, no, you're not man enough. He said, okay, I'm going to prove to you that I'm not man enough. He traveled all the way from Texas to Washington to shoot President Ronald Reagan, shoot the press secretary, Brady, who is paralyzed. Today, John Hinckley is a free man, according to them, because of what? Obligation. Constitutional obligation. He is a free man for shooting their president in the chest, for paralyzing Brady and 2 others. Nothing happened. He's a free man. So today, I laid this as a foundation because I am I spent almost 17 years of my life in the US. So I'm very, very annoyed as a result of the indiscriminate killing of black people in the United States of America by agents of the state. It is instead a display of emotional and mental rage because we would no longer watch how our brothers and sisters are subjected to all manners of ill treatment by law enforcement officers in the United States of America. The death is not funny. It is not funny. The death of Floyd is an act of barbarism that is being spearheaded by the white supremacists. Again, I keep saying there's nothing like white. It's either pink or redneck in the United States of America because black lives, brown colored people, their lives, our lives matter. But we say black lives indeed must matter. The Center for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights have in numerous forums stated that it is indeed time for the blacks, I want to continue to use the blacks because that's what we're used to, and Africans to take their destinies into their hands. If we must survive the fangs of the whites, whose desire is to see to the extinction of the entire black race in the world. Of course, you can tell from the recent COVID-19, where they have gathered together to say their agenda is for the depopulation of Africa. And of course, it will never happen. This is over 50 years down the line when the late Martin Luther King Jr. spoke about the emancipation of blacks in the United States of America. I want to say something here. I want to also call out our black brothers and sisters in America, Oprah Winfrey, Steve Harvey, Tyler Perry, Dionne Warwick, and the rest. Martin Luther King paid a maximum price for them to be what they think they are today. As a black person, you can never really amount to anything. So if they are going to keep silent over this matter, if they are not going to come out as we are coming out in Africa, tomorrow South Africa is marching, day after tomorrow Ghana is marching. One black life is equal to 10 rednecks. If they are not going to come out because they are so afraid they cannot say what that needs to be said, we are going to speak for them. Now, we are not unmindful that some of us have come here out of great trials and tribulations. Some of us have come fresh from narrow jail cells. And some of you and some of us have come from where our quest for freedom left us battered by the storms of persecution and staggered by the winds of police brutality. You have been the veterans of creative suffering. These words of Martin Luther King reverberate till date in the United States of America and other Western climes. And the question is, should we suffer untold hardship and persecution just because of the color of our skin? I am asking.
No!
Should we continue to suffer this brutality and barbarism? I am asking.
No!
Right. Should our children, brothers, sisters, fathers and mothers continue to be killed because we are colored blacks?
No!
Because we are brown and beautiful? We are gathered here to register our displeasure with the happenings in the United States of America where black lives do not matter. For us at the Center for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights, black lives indeed do matter, and indeed we do matter. And this is the message we want the Ambassador of the United States of America in Nigeria to convey to President Donald Trump. Our message is simple. Black lives matter, and racial discrimination must stop in the interest of peace, unity, and progress. If this does not stop, Africans, we must take our destinies into our hands and fight for our rights. Because according to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, we are all born free. We are all born equal. Nobody is more equal than the other. We all have our thoughts and our ideas, and we should be all treated the same way. The rights in the UDHR belong to everyone, no matter who we are, where we are from, or whatever we believe. We all have the right to life and to live in freedom and safety. No one, and I again repeat, no one should be held as a slave, and no one has the right to treat anyone else as their slave or snuff life out of them. It is indeed unacceptable. I say it is indeed unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
No one has the right to inflict torture or to subject anyone else to cruel or inhuman treatment. Nobody, and I again repeat, no one has the right to enter our home, open our doors, or mail, or intrude on our families without good reason. We also have the right to be protected if someone tries to damage our reputation unfairly. And that is the case going on now, particularly in the United States of America. Everyone has the freedom to think or believe what they want, including the right to religious belief. We have the right to change our beliefs or religion at any time, at any given time we deem fit, and the right to publicly or privately practice our chosen religion alone and or with others. And no government, no people, no group or individual should act in a way that should destroy the rights and freedom of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. By the way, America claims to be the citadel of human rights protection. So you begin to wonder why all this has been happening and going unchecked. These are provisions of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and we at the African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights stand in agreement with all these provisions in sending a very strong message to the whites. They are not supreme to us brown people. They are not. In the United States of America, that they are not superior to us. I said they are not superior to us. No life is superior to any other life. Though the color of our skin may differ, we are all freeborn. Nobody is a slave of one another. And we are a great people. Although they came to Africa many years ago to take us because they cannot develop their own country. So they needed us to help them develop their own country. And today you turn around and you begin to kill the same people. For what? And I'm asking for what?
Enough is enough.
We are calling on all Africans to stand up for their rights. It is enough of the humiliation, the deprivation and the persecution, the annihilation agenda and the delineations. Africans are not slaves and will resist any form of slave treatments from those in positions of authority, particularly in the United States of America and elsewhere in the world. The Center for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights is sounding this warning to the United States of America. The United States of America, please listen and listen through your officials and particularly the ambassador here to protect black lives in the country, as the awareness is here to state that never shall we ever allow our rights and privileges to be trampled upon any longer. It is enough. The future is here. The future is black, whether you agree with it or not, whether you accept it or not, because we have all the mineral resources and you come and rip us and rape us of it and use it to develop your land. So the future of your own nation is us, and you cannot continue to kill us. And sisters in the United States of America, we stand in solidarity with them. America and other countries of the world, with our strong fist in the air, say enough is indeed enough, and blacks' lives matter. It is our wish that the ambassador of the United States of America in Nigeria sends this very strong message to the president, to present administration in the United States, that the rest of Africa is indeed watching. I keep saying it. We are indeed watching, and we are watching all these predators. And sooner than expected, you will stop being the predator. And that is a fact. We are wiser and we are more educated. We came to your land and we took your education. We took your technical know-how. And so we are much wiser. We are not the primitive people you all think we are. We are no longer that. We are no longer ancient people. We are very civilized. And in any case, civilization started from Africa. So you cannot tell us that you brought us civilization or knowledge. Africa is watching. And again, like I said, we are indeed watching closely. We are all watching you closely. How the present administration in the United States will do to make black lives matter and seek justice for late Floyd George. Africa is indeed waiting to see that justice is served to the killers of George Floyd, and as nothing short of that would be acceptable or tolerated by us. That we are blacks, I mean, we are not black. Nobody is black or white. Only a ghost is white. We are brown, bold, and beautiful people. Do not mean that our rights and privileges should be trampled upon. Enough of that nonsense. That happened centuries ago. I mean centuries ago. And you should know better that we are wiser. We come to your country and we outwit you, we outbrain you, we outstudy you, and you return us to build your system. And we are saying, no, you cannot keep us down to build your system and then you continue to kill them. It is no longer acceptable. It is no longer acceptable. We shall never allow a repeat, now or in the future. Africans must unite, particularly in this cause. Tomorrow in South Africa, this same thing is happening. Day after is Ghana, the whole of African nation. It doesn't matter if you're from Jamaica, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, St. Thomas, wherever you come from. As long as you are black, in quote, as they say, you are an African. And this is the time for each and every one of us to rise up and say no to this barbarism. I said we should say no to this barbarism. We continue to say no, and we shall continue to say no until you get the message and get it really clear. Now, Africa must unite in the critical point of our existence.
One day, show us. We don't want to go to America. You just come. Let's meet at the border. Please, let's meet at the border. Okay, thank you. We don't want to go to America. We don't need visa.